After the terrorist attack on the Crocus City Hall shopping center in the Moscow region shook Russia, observers began to speculate on who the organizers were and what their ultimate goal was. Experts point to signs of a false flag attack by the Putin regime to mobilize the population for war. Terrorist attacks helped Putin rise to power in 1999, when terrorists blew up residential buildings in several Russian cities. The discovery of a bag of hexogen explosives in the basement of a Ryazan house, which the Russian authorities later passed off as sugar, indicated the connection between the attacks and the FSB. The Kremlin blamed the attacks on Islamists from the Caucasus, and these events helped Putin gain support for the war against Chechens and begin setting up a dictatorship. FSB Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Litvinenko exposed the Putin regime. He fled to the UK and wrote in his book, "The FSB is blowing up Russia," that the FSB organized the terrorist attacks to justify the Second Chechen War and boost Putin's rating. In November 2006, Litvinenko died in London from radioactive polonium poisoning. A British court, after a police investigation, concluded that FSB agents killed Litvinenko, and Putin himself approved this special operation. It is likely that foreign intelligence agencies were aware of the alleged plans of Russian special services to conduct a false flag attack in the Moscow region. As in early March, the United States and several other countries warned of possible terrorist attacks in Moscow. At the same time, a representative of Ukraine's military intelligence stated after the Crocus City Hall attacks that it was a planned operation by the Kremlin and a provocation by Putin's special services. The fact that Putin's propagandists simultaneously started accusing Ukraine of organizing the shooting shortly after the shooting supports the version of the FSB's false flag operation. After the tragic event, interesting details have started emerging on social media. The Rosgvardia forces near Crocus City Hall were deployed long before the terrorist attack. Before the attack, metal detectors didn't work in the shopping center, security did not check visitors' bags, and the Russian public received very prompt coverage from the scene of the attacks, including live streams. If the attacks were indeed a false flag attack orchestrated by the FSB, what was their purpose? Perhaps Putin decided to escalate its war against Ukraine and declare full mobilization of men after sealing his new term as Russia's president. Or has Moscow decided to blame the Western conspiracy for the attack? After the loss of about 500,000 soldiers in Ukraine, the Putin regime needs new bloody arguments to convince Russians to go to war and die for the schizophrenic interests of the dictator and the billions of dollars of Russian oil and gas oligarchs.